Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video. All right, so did my Target run. I bought myself 2 more pair of pants. I know I probably shouldn't have did necessarily that much, but I got some colors that I never had. I got like a very light, almost white beige, which I know I'm gonna have to be very careful not to waste anything on or sit on the floor like I'm, on steps and stuff like that. Brush up against anybody. And I got some brownish type jeans. I don't think I've had brown jeans since I was like 8 years old, like literally. But when I put them on, the relaxed fit were so comfortable that I had to give them a shot. See, the thing about it is the pants that I've been buying as of late, the stuff that I bought on this side of town, are tight, man. I had lost a lot of weight. I was in good shape and thought I was gonna stay in that type of shape. Ended up gaining weight. And the pants that I'm wearing, suddenly they went from slim fit to skin tight. So it's like, man, I gotta find some comfortable clothing. I do too much walking and all that to be walking around in tight ass pants. So I'm going up a few sizes and giving it a shot to see if I can find more comfortable fits, and then probably throw away some other stuff, some old stuff that I carried over from back in the days, from where I used to live. So still changing my wardrobe, still switching it up. I got some birthday money, so very thankful for that. But yeah, man, that was my mission, to get some new jeans, to continue to celebrate my birthday in that way. And as I was telling you guys several times over, when you don't have a weed habit, you really can do other stuff, man. Like buying myself some shoes, the money I spent on them damn shoes is the money I would have spent on weed. You know what I mean? At one point I was buying like ounces of wedding cake that would cost like almost $200. Y'all saw me do it. If you followed me 2 years ago, y'all know that was what I was on. And it was like I wasn't buying clothing, I wasn't buying shoes and stuff like that, but I was steady wasting money on bull crap like that would burn. Half the time I didn't even really enjoy the high. So it's like, now that I don't have that habit, when I do have a little money in my pocket, it ain't going toward that. It can go toward fixing my wardrobe. It can go toward more productive stuff, man. Art supplies and stuff like that I can use to help continue my process. So it's like, I'm kind of glad I'm not smoking weed anymore, because what it does is allow for more money in my pocket to do other things. And looking at the budgeting of the weed, it's like, man, that could have been some shoes right there. That could have been some jeans right there. That's how I was spending. That could have been a new phone there. That could have been so many different things that I forego because I just had to budget that. I ain't have to budget that. That's the beauty of being in the era I'm in now. It's like, I still like weed. I still can appreciate it, but I don't miss buying it at all. I don't miss buying it at all. So yeah, that's something to say. It feels good, man. It's first day in many months. It's probably about 3 months where it's been this cool walking around North Hollywood, man. I'm used to it being almost 100 degrees, 95 degrees. Now the weather I'm used to is 94, 93 at this point when I go out. And for it to be probably no more than 81 right now, it's amazing. There was a time where this would be considered hot too, but nah, this is cool. This is exactly what you want this time. Hopefully it stay like this for months. Seriously. But as I was saying in my last video, man, I don't feel overly comfortable speaking about racial stuff because we're in a society where it's taboo to do so. People have guilt tripped so many black people for being cautious, for being paranoid, or whatever the case may be. But the reality is, when you see what's going on with the Palestinians and how they're treating these people, you can't help but look over and realize that you are their number one enemy. Maybe not the Zionist Jews. They hate the Palestinians for a specific reason, because they want their land and they resisted them in taking it from them. But their true hate is in the melanin of the skin of the black people. That's who they really hate. They hate Palestinians because it's personal. For us, it's just they want us off the earth. They want us the hell out of here, man. And so when you see a genocide being pointed at the Palestinians, with all due respect, who they really want is us. Who they really want off the earth is the people from Africa. And the people that derive from Africa with melanin in our skins. They want us gone. And we cannot be so oblivious as to think that the cultures that we engage in and knocking each other off and looking at each other as if we're enemies to one another when we don't have any power over the neighborhoods we live in. Outside of the guns, we're willing to shoot at each other. Do you understand that that's just another form of the genocide that's pointed at us? The cultures that they invest in to have us thinking that we're our worst enemy and proceeding to kill one another. Yeah, we do have it naturally as it pertains to our tribal instincts. Our ancestors were tribal in nature in Africa. You look over at Africa and you see them still engaging in ridiculous violence, black people on black people. But a lot of that violence is stirred up by white supremacy. It really is. It's invested in the promotion of it so that you'll continue to believe that it's a natural way of order. And none of this stuff is natural, man. None of these cultures that we engage in that have us drinking, sipping, smoking all types of poisonous stuff, eating all types of fatty foods that kill us, that's not by accident, man. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's just how it's always been. You're not supposed to eat unhealthy foods. Your body's not supposed to ingest liquor and all types of chemicals. Like, it's not. That's a culture that has been in our faces in our lives and on our day-to-day for all of our lives. So it's just assumed to be normal. But when you look at the propaganda that's being placed upon the heads of Israeli people and how they think what is normal is slicing up a bunch of babies and blowing them up and thinking it's moral in nature and assuming that everybody else thinks it's moral, that they have the right to do so, then you understand what propaganda is really about. What it's like to think something's normal and not ask the natural questions as to why you would even engage in that in the first place. People are so used to doing what's in their day-to-day, what's being impressed upon their minds, that they don't realize that it's something that hurts you, and something that hurts you is not natural. It's applied to your thinking. It's promoted to you by way of who invests in these celebrities and these propaganda machines, these commercials, these think tanks. There ain't nothing normal about deteriorating your own body or destroying your own community or wishing death upon your brother, wishing death upon people in your community that you don't have personal problems with, that ain't never took nothing from you, they ain't never stole nothing from you. It's amazing how these same people are so warped in their day-to-day propaganda that black people are their biggest enemies, that they will let Klansmen stomp through their neighborhoods, screaming white power and all different types of evil stuff pointed at them, and won't do nothing to those Klansmen. But within that same proximity would turn those guns on their own people. It's just amazing to me how indoctrined we are in unnatural behavior that ultimately eats away at our numbers and continues to move in the direction that those that truly want us off the earth would rather have us go in. Cultures that don't mean us no good, that have us having life expectancies of 21 years, 16 years, and we engage in that like it's something to uphold. It's destruction of your own people, while people above you invest in the promotion of that destruction for your own consumption. People who feel whatever they feel about you based on whatever it is they got going on that you're not even close to, but are definitely being touched by. And the way they continue to treat your brother in Africa, stealing from him, having him work his children to the ground to receive things like cobalt minerals. And you just sit back and you continue to hurt each other like you're your worst enemy, don't you see? You being pointed at you is a weapon in and of itself, being pointed by your enemies at you. And if you were in Congo somewhere, they'd have you slaving away at what they need you to work on so that you can continue to make them richer, so they can continue to impose this nonsense upon your head. That's what the truth is. If you want to know what they really think about black people, look at how they treat them kids in the Congo. Look, just pay attention to that situation, and that'll tell you what they think of melanated people. We are not our worst enemy. We are if we continue to believe the lies that have been placed upon our day to day. If we continue to eat away at our numbers, we can definitely continue on that path and deplete ourselves to such a way that there ain't hardly none of us left. And then they can do whatever they want to the few of us that are left 100 years from now, 200 years from now, after we continue on this path. Or we can have some notion that this is going on and start to undo the thinking that allows us to align with what is ultimately meant to destroy us. And it's all due respect toward those who are also suffering the ills of white supremacy, who are not black people. But at the end of the day, history has shown us, if we've paid close enough attention to it, that who they really want to destroy is us. It's been who they hated the most. And they've warped a lot of others into hating us too for their own reasons. Just like they warped us into hating each other for their own reasons. And half of the conflicts that we engage in would not even be if it weren't for them stirring up the pot in a lot of cases. When you start searching for this space of accountability, what you're going to find is a disruption of balance. When you start trying to figure out why you're in circumstances that leave you in a space of being destructive, you dig far enough and you're going to find an entity that is not yourself enabling those circumstances, enabling the environments to be as deteriorated as they are, enabling the deterioration of the minds that ultimately you're trying to get back at for doing whatever to you. They had something done to them. Somebody was stirring that pot. It gets dark, man. But at the end of the day, if we have some inclination, if the seed has been planted in enough of us to at least just stop and say, yo, there's a bigger picture here, and we're living and dying before we ever get to see it, then maybe we could put ourselves in a position to actually live a little longer to see it. And I think that's what it is that a lot of us need to wake up to, man. We are not our own worst enemy, if not for the presence of a propaganda that has been invested in thoroughly, placed upon our minds to make us continue on a path that ultimately depletes our numbers. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.